So Kobe, just start out with the transition from high school to college. I mean, how big a jump is this? What are you learning?
Um, it was a pretty big jump. Guys are bigger and stronger. As I came here, it was pretty tough, but just kept on working.
Toughest area. What's the toughest part of the adjustment?
I feel like the speed. Coming from high school, I could play at my own pace. I'm just bigger and stronger than guys, but the game's going so fast. Just had to adjust.
Why did you choose West Virginia?
You know, get to play for a great coach. And I feel like they'll really try to get me better here and try to push me to the next level.
Did you know a lot about Hugs when you were a kid?
My former coach, Andrew Velakovic, also know Hugs, so, very familiar with him.
So you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
And you still can?
Has that part been better, worse? I mean, just his intensity in practice. How many times you've been on the treadmill? Those type of things.
I actually love it, Just knowing him, getting on me, I feel like he really cares. That shows him he wants me better. I've been on the treadmill a few times, but I try not to be over there.
Kobe, I don't want to make assumptions, especially when it comes to someone's name, but I'm assuming you're named after Kobe Bryant? Or?
Yeah, my mom was a big fan of Kobe, so, yeah.
I mean, what's that like growing up playing? I mean, you could have been anything, but you're getting into basketball with the name Kobe. Was that growing up? I'm sure probably kids are like, oh, there's Kobe.
Yeah,
there's Kobe.
When I was younger, I used to wear 8 and 24, so, Kobe,
Yeah,
Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that bring expectations for yourself though when you have that name Kobe growing up?
Most definitely, holding that name is kind of strong, so just trying to be like Kobe.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
When you heard that he had died.
Yeah, that really hurt me, We had a game that day, so I eventually had to wear 24 that night.
I guess.
Your ability sounds like you can play either guard position. Can you? Do you have a preference? What are your point skills like?
Um, I don't have a preference what I play, I'm willing to do whatever the coach needs me to do. If he wants me to run the one, play the two, I'm able to do that.
You played mostly off the ball in high school, though, right?
Senior year I played more on the ball. I was on the
More
ball. Yes,
Was that by design or because you had to?
I had to.
So Hugs mentioned that you're pretty confident with the ball. Where does that come from?
Always growing up. The ball's always been in my hands, as in just the, best player or the best ball handler. So, yeah. And I always play with older guys, so that just helped me from there.
Defensively, where are you? Have you always been good at defense, or is that something you've had to adjust to?
I've always been good at defense. As I mentioned, playing against older guys, I had to play harder. That just pushed me harder, just to try to stop them.
Were you aware of what Deuce did here, and did that success maybe impact your decision to come here?
Most definitely. He was a great player, on-ball defense, great offense, so.
Your game any similar to his, or a little bit different? Or
A little bit different, but I feel like we both have great intensity on defense.
did you ever play against him?
No.
No.
I think it was his path and your path is kind of similar in the sense that you're obviously both Ohio kids, and he was under recruited coming out of high school, and you probably think maybe you were a little under recruited coming out of high school, and now he's in the NBA. I mean, it kind of maybe shows you kind of a similar path, so to speak. I guess.
Yeah, that story is good. It's always a good story to tell.
Did you feel like you were under recruited coming out of high school? And I guess why was that? Because obviously you played for a great school and won awards and.
I most definitely feel like I was, but it's a good thing also. I can actually show the people what they missed out on, so.
Who recruited you besides West Virginia?
All the MAC schools, getting heavy from there, Big Duquesne, Bowling Green, schools like that.
So this was the only Power 5 offer you had?
I was getting calls later, that season,
Yeah.
but once West Virginia gave me that offer.
Kind of blew up a little bit. Funny how that works sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Schools like they're waiting for someone to be the first, and then once that first one.
Mhm.
See a little red under your any Ohio State affiliate or
Always
affinity
gotta,
when you were a kid?
always gotta support the black and red McKinley.
Moving away from home, what's that been like? That's an adjustment, whether you're a regular college student or a student athlete.
It wasn't a big adjustment for me, you know. Younger, I traveled, you know, AAU in a way. I went to California for a summer to play basketball, so it wasn't so much a big adjustment for me.
You're not that far from home. Do you get home often?
No, I try to stay here. My mom doesn't want me back.
Coach was saying the other night on his radio show that you're one of the biggest surprises so far on the team. I'm wondering, do you feel like the transition has been easier than you thought, or just kind of, take me through it? Do you feel like that you've done pretty well or better than you had expected at this point?
Yes, you know, coming in, you know, I just try to work hard and just trying to fit in, just trying to see everything, you know. But I feel like I prepared for this, so it wasn't as hard as as it was.
What gets you prepared?
Just training every day, weight programs, trying to eat right, you know.
Let me take you back to the name again, Kobe.
Hmm.
When did you try to copy anything in his game? Everything in his game? Number one, number two. Did you follow him? Like, did you have like a poster on your wall or pictures or any autographs or anything like that?
You know, I try to get the little fadeaway, but it's harder. It's harder than what people think it is. But yes, you know, around my 8th, 9th birthday, I had a Kobe theme. You know, Kobe was around my Gatorades, posters. So yeah.
Your strengths as a player, if you had to describe yourself as a player, your strengths and weaknesses.
You know, as a player, I feel like I can do everything. I can score the ball, I can play defense, I can assist, rebound. You know, weakness, I feel like I can always get better at shooting. There's always room for improvement.
Were you familiar with Morgantown at all before you got here, or?
No, sir.
So what's it been like, adjusting to this town and getting to know the state and stuff like that?
I love it out here. The fans, you know, they love you. They'll treat you like your own kid. So, adjusted pretty well.
Was it a deal where your high school coach contacted Hugs? Is that how they learned about you? How do you aware of how they found out about you?
My high school coach contacted, you know, Hugs. You know, came out one time. You know, seen him there, and it just went on from there.
Went from there.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your junior year?
Yeah,
Sophomore
junior year.
Junior year.
Gotten used to all the hills around campus yet?
Yeah.
So, in terms of playing in front of a crowd, you had the exhibition game, then the scrimmage was closed starting Friday, even though it's not a regular season game. The crowds are going to be there. You anticipate any butterflies, nervousness?
No. You know, I've been preparing for this, so I'm just used to it. As in the field house, you know, you have about 5,000 in there. You playing against Jackson or Massillon. It's a lot of fans in there, but I'm prepared and ready for this.
Play any other sports?
No.
All
Well,
basketball?
Brown Middle School, I played football a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But all basketball.
All basketball.
What position in football?
Wide receiver and outside linebacker.
I got you.
Were you surprised by, the gold-blue scrimmage? I guess that was a couple weeks or last week. I think you had 16 points, a couple assists. I mean, did that surprise you at all when you saw the box score after the game? Or?
I didn't know I had 16. I knew I had a few shots, but it did surprise me a little bit.
So you're not one of those guys that counts points when you play?
No, I just try not to focus on that. Try not to.
Just play?
Yes.
We think of Canton McKinley as a football school. These people outside. Basketball there much better than maybe some people realize.
Yes, they're a great basketball school. Even over in a few years, we had good teams. You know, went to district. You know, but I feel like we're a good basketball too.
Did you get to watch a lot of Big 12 basketball when you were in high school?
You know, as I started, getting in contact with West Virginia, had to watch, see how guys play and how everything was.
What do you think of the league?
Tough. It's a tough league.
What makes it tough?
You know, guys jumping out the gym, guys big and strong.
Considering your recruiting situation and so forth, were you a little surprised you got the state player of the year last year?
No,
No.
I worked for this.
A lot of times, though, it's a popularity contest. They usually pick the guy that's going to Michigan or Ohio State or that type of deal.
Yeah.
But obviously, your numbers and what you did, people saw that and respected it, I guess.
Yeah, I had a great season at McKinley, you know.
Yeah.
Your relationship with Seth and the other freshmen, you guys bonded. How's that going?
I was going very good. You know, I knew Seth before AAU, played a few times, played against each other, so I already, you know, knew Seth a little bit, and other freshmen are good too. We bond, we go out sometimes, play the game.
I know Hugs loves Ohio guards. Describe the typical Ohio guard.
Tough, grimy. You know, that's all I can say.
Kind of fits what Hugs wants to do, I guess, right?
Yes, sir.
You feel like you're a Huggins type player?
Yes.